Hans Niemann is unbothered, unfazed, and undaunted. This is what he posted to Twitter yesterday, or X as it's now called, 1st of December, in response to everything swirling, there's chess cheating insinuations. And what he said underneath is the chess is speaking and will always speak for itself. And look at this for a picture. Guys out here looking like Drake, right? Who says chess players are nerds? And speaking of Drake, look at Anish Giri's response to this picture. Just classic Giri, right? Now, if you're gonna play like this on Twitter, post this stuff, well, you gotta follow it up with results. So in round 2 of the London Chess Classic, Hans was playing against the legend Michael Mickey Adams from Old Blighty, which is slang for England, by the way. He's a seasoned British champion 8 times, and they know him as the Spider because he weaves a web. What a player, and he's playing here with a reverse Sicilian e5 on the board to Neeman c4. So g3 now from Hans. We get c6 looking to take the centre. Now knight f3, provocative move. You entice this pawn forward, then jump the knight here, but no two ways about it, you've given black the centre. So Neeman takes. We don't see pawn recaptures. I was clicking around a bit, and basically white gets the counterplay with knight c3, d3. You chip away at that centre. So queen takes, main move. The knight hit, it drops back to c2, and after knight f6, knight c3, hitting the queen, centralising on e5, we now get bishop g2. So weird looking setup for white here, giving black the space, but we'll see soon where Neeman wants to play. Knight a6 now from Mickey Adams. These super GMs, they break the rules when they want to, but keep your eye on that one. We'll see where it's headed. We get castles, bishop e7, knight e3. This one, a rock solid defensive bastion supported by all these pawns here. Lovely to see. Castles played, and a3 now. So Neeman revealing his hand. He's going to play on the queen side there. We get knight c7. Mickey showing his point. That knight is headed for d5. b4 played, knight fd5, we get captures. You know, you don't want to allow the pawn structure to get ruined here. One day you might want to advance one of these, chip away at that annoying pawn. This knight recaptures, and now yes, there's pressure here, but no time to win a pawn, or your rook's hanging in the corner. So bishop b2, very natural. Black carries on developing, covers this important pawn. And there's no time to start taking here or jumping here because your bishop is hanging to the queen. So queen c2, very natural. I never looked at this line actually. What if this pawn pushes? You know, this is now lined up. What's the trick? Okay, knight takes on d5 apparently. Very tactical stuff. There's checks here in the air, etc. So that's not the best move. We see knight takes on c3 played. Bishop recaptures. The queen hit. It slides to e6. This queen now transfers to b2, coming away from this stuff. The g-pawn pressured through this battery. So queen g6 played, covering the pawn, b5, and now h5. Both players getting on with their respective plans. I mean, cut the board in half, and it really tells a picture about where each player is trying to play. So a4 now, h4, a5, classic minority attack from Hans. You've got 2 attacking 3 here. And what to do as black? There are so many options when you start clicking. The computer approves of c5, or takes, or doing nothing and some kind of waiting move. But what Mickey does is a6. He wants to clarify the pawn structure. He is getting down a bit on time now. You know, he's about 30 years older than Hans. Always takes longer to calculate the older you get, right? And now we see pawn captures played. This pawn recaptures. The structure a bit of a mess for black, but we'll see Mickey's idea for counterplay. So rook a4 now played from Hans. Look at that for a majestic rook lift. Now rook fe8. So Adams looks to activate, and this is awesome now. He just starts weaving his web. So Hans goes queen b6, invading to this weakened square. The bishop just tucks back to open up this rook, so that after rook c4, pressuring that weakened pawn, you're in time with rook e6, covering it. Queen b7 now comes though, this one undefended, and Mickey just doubles the rooks, gives the pawn, and then goes c5 to attack that queen. All of the black pieces now looking towards this king. This is scary. So queen b5 drops back. Why would you go c5 and encourage the queen to get out of the way, help the a-pawn run, and then go queen h5, leaving the protection of this rank, letting the pawn run, which it duly does? Well, Mickey's idea is counterplay. He's looking here, and he's also looking at some very nasty attacks with takes here, and then sliding the rook across. But it all has to be timed right, because this queen is attacking that rook. So the moment this leaves, this hangs. It's all about timing here. So Hans now pushes the pawn to a6. He doesn't defend here. One quick sample line. What if you go e3? Well, then bishop g4 is heading for there. And if you save this one, it still comes. You're still skewering. It's really not simple stuff here. So Hans goes a6, going for the active plan, ditching this pawn here, and now if Adams tries to blow Hans off the board here with captures, well, if you take with the h-pawn, your attack is succeeding. But taking with this one is best, because you open the rook here. No time for this, or this one comes, distracting the queen. This is about to drop. Sure, you can take, but you sidestep. There isn't enough of an attack. The bishop covers the square. So it's very, very tactical stuff. That's why we didn't see this one takes, trying to go for that whole thing. Instead, we see the positional h3, a thorn in the side of white. The bishop drops, the queen nabs this pawn, and now if a7 had been played here, the lines could have just gone crazy. The top move for black is this pawn e3. And I've no doubt Mickey would have found this, because you activate the bishop. Now there's a big threat taking here with check and all of that stuff. So d takes is best. Then bishop d3, not just skewering here, but threatening mate. I've just got to show you this line. So the rook moves, supported by the bishop. These are the top engine moves, so we'll stick with them. Then you take here, attacking the queen. So the queen should take here, best move. Let's just run with it. Now takes here with check. Bishop recaptures, rook takes, and now you can force through the queen, and this is the resulting position. 4 on 4, bishops on bishops, should be level. But what a crazy line if Hans had gone a7, possible line that could have occurred. But he takes on c5, also a tricky move. No time to capture this rook with the bishop, or your queen drops here. And if you play here, then there's here. And white's doing great because you're attacking this one. So when you pick up the tempo, it moves. You've then got time to go rook a5, protect the pawn. White is doing great, pretty much winning with this advanced pass pawn. So do not take the queen. That was not played. Bishop g4 played. Supports this one, comes away from the attack. Hans does now take the queen. What if he'd tried for something else? This is attacked. What if you move it to g5, pressure here, pressure here? Well, now black can take. This one recaptures. Bishop e2 still lands on the board. Where are we? Attacking these ones here. You can also take immediately, I believe I was looking at. Many different lines going on here. You don't even have to win an exchange. You can bring it back to this roughly level position. But what we see played is queen takes. Bishop recaptures. Now this rook comes to a5. No time to move this one. You had literally a hanging rook there. So it comes behind the pawn. And now, yes, you can win an exchange here, but this is a sample line. So rook a8, let's say, played, coming in front of the pawn. You can get something like this, and because the bishops are so powerful, such an advanced pawn, black's not worse, but not winning either. The pawn's too powerful. This should be a level position. So we don't see the exchange one. This one drops, complicated game here. The bishop recaptures. Now the rook saves itself. F5, and Mickey must have offered a draw here because draw agreed, and this was therefore the final position, 4 on 4, all level material. Black's got the edge here, got the space. Hands would have had to prove it, I feel. But okay, it should technically be a draw. So that's how it ended. I hope you enjoyed this one. No bloodshed, but always good to see hands in action at the moment. Thanks very much for watching. For another epic game of chess, check out the video on screen, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.